So kind of same idea as last time. Idea is really to not to push ourselves or to kind of train or anything. It's just really to chance to tune in with our bodies, get a little bit of gentle movement, some kind of mindfulness practice. And if anything feels like it's too much or you're not sure, just leave it out and just kind of you can always lay on your back, just rest. The whole point is really to learn when our body needs rest. So if you notice that, that's a really good thing. Cool. Let's close our eyes if you're comfortable with that, and otherwise just find a soft focus a little bit ahead of you. And then start coming into stillness. See if you can notice any sounds, anything close to you, or maybe something further away. See if you can feel the ground underneath you. See where your body touches the floor or whatever you're sitting on. See if you can feel where fabric of your clothes touches your skin. And see if there's any other sensations that come up for you. Just allowing that with curiosity, even if they're unpleasant, just trying not to judge. And just notice. So in yoga, there's what is called the Yoga Sutras. That is an ancient text that kind of lays out a lot of the philosophy. And one really important concept is the yamas and niyamas. So that's kind of the do's and don'ts to life. So it's a list of, I think, 10 things to not do and to do. And it starts with a concept called ahimsa, which is non-violence. And that quite obviously applies to physical violence. So obviously not good to hurt anyone or ourselves. But the way that most of us kind of unintentionally break that is actually in our thoughts. And that applies to other people when we judge, but it also really applies to ourselves in the sense that, you know, we might be thinking, oh, I didn't do that well, or when you're recovering, when you're healing, maybe you're wondering why it's taking you so long, kind of impatience towards ourselves. And the way that that applied or applies to healing really is that when we have these thoughts, there's a lot of studies that show that those kinds of thoughts release cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And that in turn actually releases a whole battery of inflammatory processes in our bodies. So that's really where kind of this concept comes into recovery and healing. So I've found that and the other yamas and niyamas. I'll talk about those another time, but I found that really helpful in getting well. So I guess my question for you would be today, can you think about some of your kind of internal dialogue that you have? And are there any areas where you might be able to apply less pressure on yourself and more gentleness? And when you notice any of those thoughts, just thank that part of yourself because it's trying to show up for you, it's trying to meet your own standards. So you can just kind of tell yourself that it's okay. So if you like, you can set an intention for today's practice. Maybe it's something to do with that ahimsa or more gentleness. Maybe it's something completely different. And then we'll come to lying on our backs in Shavasana to start. So just slowly come to your back, either stretching out your legs, or if you have a blanket or a pillow nearby, you can kind of put that below your knees. Be a little more supported, whatever is most comfortable. And then place your feet and your hands a little bit away from your body so that they don't touch anything else. And then just rest here. Take a few slow breaths into our belly here. Then we'll work with a breathing ratio today of 4 and 6, if that's comfortable for you. If not, you can do 2 and 3. So just making the inhale a little longer than the exhale. Sorry, the other way around. Exhale longer than the inhale. So I'll just count the first few times. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep counting like that for yourself. And we'll try to keep that ratio throughout the class, and we'll probably lose it at some point. So just whenever you notice, you can kind of come back to counting by yourself. And we'll start introducing some movement. So keeping that breath on your next inhale, slowly roll your head to your left side and then back up on your exhale. Inhale to the left, 3, 4, and exhale back, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the right, 3, 4, and back to the middle, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the left, and back to center. To the right, and back to center. Going another couple of times on both sides on your own time. And then when you're done, come back to rest in Shavasana. And then next, we'll bring our hands up, elbows still on the floor, and start rolling our wrists a little bit. Very slowly in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then bring in your ankles as well. Slowly in one direction. And then in the other. And then coming back to stillness with your hands still up, your elbows on the mat. And then together with our breathing, we'll start moving our hands further up towards the ceiling. So inhale, bring your hands all the way up. And then exhale, bringing them back down slowly, just to your elbows, keeping your hands vertical. And inhale, back up towards the ceiling, reach up. And exhale, back down to your elbows. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Couple more times on your own count. And then when you're done, bring your hands back by your sides, palms facing down. And then if that feels like you did a lot, you can rest there. And otherwise, if you feel like keeping going, then we'll keep the breathing ratio, and on your inhale, bring your hands to your shoulders. And then on the exhale, stretch them up behind your head, or over your head, I guess. And then on the next inhale, back to your shoulders, and exhale back down by your side. So inhale, shoulders, 2, 3. Exhale, raise them up behind your head. 5, 6. Inhale, back to shoulders. 3, 4. Exhale down by your side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, shoulders. Exhale, up overhead. Inhale, shoulders. And exhale back down by your side. A couple more times on your own count. And then rest whenever you're ready back in Shavasana. And on your next exhale, pull your feet slowly towards your hips, knees point up. If you have a pillow or a blanket under your knees, you can remove that. And then slowly roll your knees over to your left side, laying on your side. And then place your right hand on top of the left, both pointing away from your body. And then very, very slowly pull your right hand along the length of your left arm, kind of turning your upper body, your shoulder away towards the right. And you just slowly pull your hand all the way up to your shoulder and then over your collarbone. And then if it's comfortable for you to be in the twist, you can stretch it out on the other side, and otherwise just stay there wherever is comfortable. Take a few breaths here, inhaling on 4, exhaling on 6, or if you're doing 2, 3, whichever one you're doing. And then on your next inhale, start slowly bringing your right hand back to your right shoulder and then reversing that movement, stroking over your collarbone and along your left arm, all the way until you're back on your left side with your palms touching. We'll do that one more time, and this time I invite you to pay attention to what that touch feels like on your left arm. So on your inhale, start stroking your right hand over your left arm, slowly all the way to your shoulder, collarbones, and then coming into the twist wherever you land there. Couple breaths here. And then reversing that movement and coming back. Resting here with your palms touching for another breath. And then slowly pushing yourself back up to a supported resting pose, so Shavasana, but with your knees pointing up and your feet on the floor. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, so rolling over to your right side with your knees bent and your arms pointing away from your body, palms touching. Resting here for breath. And then on your next inhale, bringing your left hand along your right arm. To your shoulder. Over your collarbone. And then stretching it out towards the other side. Staying in that twist for a couple of deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, reversing that movement. Hand back to your shoulder. Back over your collarbone. Shoulder. Arm. All the way back towards your hand. Resting here for a breath. Pay some attention to the sensation of your hands, your palms touching each other. Maybe you can sense temperature or pressure, gravity. And then on your next inhale, start coming back again with your left hand along the right arm. And seeing what the sensations feel like as your hand touches your shoulder, collarbone. Taking a couple of breaths in the twist. See if there's any sensations maybe that brings. And on your next inhale, start reversing the movement. And coming back with both hands on top of each other, both palms. Last breath here. And then slowly pushing yourself back up into supported resting pose. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your knees towards your chest. Maybe hold the back of your thighs with your hands or your shins, if that's comfortable, wherever your hands land. And if that's not comfortable, you can also just come back to Shavasana. Take a few more breaths here. Inhale. If you have your knees up, you can squeeze them into your chest or closer. And exhale, squeeze a little more. Inhale, relax. And exhale, squeeze them back in. A couple more of those on your own count. If you'd like, you can also start humming your breath out on your exhale. Strengthening the vagus nerve. And then after your next exhale, just relax. If you have your knees up, stay there. If you're in Shavasana, come back to pointing your knees up and your feet closer to your hips. And then on the next inhale, keep your left knee where it is and push your right foot out towards the bottom of your mat. And exhale, bring your right knee next to the left. Then inhale, same thing with the left leg, stretching that out, foot towards the bottom of the mat. And exhale, bring the left knee back next to the right. Keep going with alternating your legs like that for a few more breaths on both sides. Keep the humming on the exhale if you're doing that. And on your next exhale, pull both knees towards you one last time. And squeeze in everything. See if you can squeeze your face, like if you're biting into a lemon, just crunching everything up. And then exhale, relax, and come back into Shavasana. If you have a chair near, you can um, bring that in, and otherwise you can just stay in Shavasana. If you do have a chair, just bring that, your mat, bring your hips close to it, and your legs on top of the chair or the couch or the bed, whatever is close. And then we'll just come to stillness here. Few more breaths with the 4-6 ratio. Place your right hand on your stomach, your left hand on your chest if you like. And on the inhale, breathing into your right hand, lifting your stomach. And exhale, letting everything out and relax down. Few more breaths here on your own count. You can keep humming the exhale. And then after your next exhale, let go of the humming, let go of the count, and just relax here. And then if you're up on a chair, come back down into full Shavasana. We'll do our final relaxation. So if you have a blanket nearby or socks you can put on or anything like that to be warm, that's a good time now. Body temperature will drop a little bit. If you need a pillow under your head or under your knees, you can use that. And just make sure you're comfortable. Bring your attention to your forehead. See if there's any tension there. See if you can release that on the exhale. Just relax. And paying attention to your neck. If there's any tension there, And if so, see if you can let go of a little bit of that on your exhale. Focusing on your shoulders and let go of any tension there. Wrists in your hands and just let go and let them rest on the floor. Legs and your feet. And see if you can let those be a little bit more heavy with your exhale. Stay here for a few breaths. See if you can notice where in your body you feel the breath the most. Maybe it's your chest, maybe your stomach, maybe your nose. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath. And start noticing the sensations of where your body touches the ground. Pay attention to the sounds around you, close and far. Start moving your head a little bit to the left and the right. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, moving your wrists and your ankles. And then if you have your eyes closed, keep them closed and slowly roll to your right side, making a little pillow out of your right arm, resting your head there. And then keeping your eyes closed. If they're closed, then just push yourself up slowly to a seated position. Paying attention to any sensations in your body. And we'll close out with one together, or if you prefer, you can just hum. Do 2 deep breaths together to align. So inhale and exhale. Another inhale And exhale. And then next one we'll arm together. So inhale. And then if you set an intention earlier, come back to that. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.